Finesse Mitchell, Human Meal. Make sure you go get it, support it, read it, pass it along, because it is the hottest thing going on in 2009. Big shout out to Frank Holder for putting everybody on and getting everybody just connected, man. Great thing. Check it out.
The Humor Mill Comedy Entertainment News out here with Finesse Mitchell. Finesse, man, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, Frank? How you doing, brother?
First question I want to ask you, man, is you were on Saturday Night Live.
Yes, sir.
And last time I interviewed you, things happened from Saturday Night Live to now. Can you tell the fans out there what has been happening in your progression in your comedy career since Saturday Night Live to now?
I took time out for a personal life. So basically, a brother got married. I left the New York scene, and instead of running back out to LA to jump right back into the game, I said I really wanted to take some time to like go buy something, own something, start a family. Because, you know, you can be chasing for so long, and, you know, another dream of mine was not only to be on top in comedy, but, you know, to have a family. So I had to start buckling down with that.
Right.
I never knew that would be more inspiration than ever, to write more jokes, be more funny, you know, because then when you're living with somebody, you get to know all their mannerisms and stuff that drive you crazy. So it's all good, man. Now I'm back out here in LA on my grind, going back and forth to Miami, but still rep the A, so, you know what I mean?
Right. Also, man, in between then and now, you also discovered that you was a book author and that you really wanted to write and everything else. You're writing columns, things like that. I mean, how did that all come about?
Man, SNL, in my last year, I kind of knew the writing was on the wall, and the ladies of Essence had reached out to me, and they were like, you know, we want you to, you know, join some other bachelors and write and give women relationship advice for a one-time thing. I was like, all right, cool. So when they gave me the questions and I sent them my answers, they was like, this is so funny, this is so good, we're just gonna go with your answers. And so it got a good response, and then they did it again, and they got another good response, and then they asked me if I wanted my own column. And that was it, man. I've been just going on my 3rd year, Essence Magazine, giving women relationship advice, or just real talk advice. It's called Oh Brother. I want to thank the ladies of Essence for, you know, looking out for a brother, because, man, that was so timely, because I left BET. I was like a BET favorite, in my opinion. In my head, I was like, I know I'm one of the favorites on BET. I know what the ratings are. So every time they show my sets, I know what the ratings are. And I never got a chance to tell that audience I'm going over to Saturday Night Live. Right. So next time I was on TV, I was on NBC Saturday Night Live 11:30, and nobody knew where I was. I couldn't get back on television to go do comedy sets, because they was blocking it. It was like, you can't go do that show, you can't do this show. So I was stuck. Wow. So I got this whole new audience, which I've always been mainstream. Like my father told me, if I was gonna get in the comedy game, make sure that you tell jokes for everybody, because you're gonna get there quicker. You only tell black jokes, and you're gonna only entertain black people. And I love entertaining black people, but I also entertain white people, Latino, and just everybody, Asian, because that's America right now. You know what I mean? So anyway, so I always set that focus and that goal to do that. And then next thing I know, man, the column turned into a book. Simon & Schuster came to me or approached me. Same people who put out the book, He's Just Not That Into You, was a fan of the column and said, you know what, you really need to do this for African American women. I was like, all right, cool. So we put the book out. It's called Your Girlfriends Only Know So Much. You get it from Amazon.com, Barnes & Nobles, Borders, all that good stuff. But it's doing really well. And then other than that, man, I did a couple of movies, Who's Your Caddy, The Comebacks, and then Mad Money with Queen Latifah, Katie Holmes, and Diane Keaton. So I've just been juggling the movie career, the writing career, just the television stuff, because you're always gonna catch me on Tyro or the Today Show talking about something crazy or cracking on somebody. But I try to do all that from South Florida, and that's what's hard, you know what I mean? Just not being here. So now that I'm back out here, you know what I mean? I hope to do more, you know what I mean?
Right. Let me ask you, when Steve Harvey's book came out, and your book is almost, it's so similar, it's almost scary.
Right.
I mean, you know what I mean? What was your thoughts and thinking? I'm not trying to bash Steve Harvey, but what was your thoughts and thinking when you saw his book come out with almost
like, damn. I mean, honestly, I was like, damn. You know what I mean? Because I had never gotten that. The book had never gotten the radio exposure that it needed to just stay fresh in people's minds. Right. So I'm always doing Tyro or the Today Show, but if I had that urban market, you know, then of course the book would just fly off the shelf. Right. So with Steve having that built-in fan base and being able to talk to 6 million people every morning, you know what I'm saying? Right. It was just a no-brainer. So, you know, Oprah and Gail had loved my book. They loved his book, you know what I mean? So he got a chance to be on that show. Right. And after that, man, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? Right. You get on Oprah talking about a book, that's a done deal.
Yeah, right.
But just to be on the radio talking about a book every day, you know. Right. So congratulations, Steve Harvey. Great idea. I thought of it, so I know it was a great idea.
Right. There was no in between you thinking that, gee, he almost like copied my book, and because his book came out so much in between, and his book is so similar to yours. did that thought, not trying to dig any dirt or anything
No,
like that,
but,
you know what I mean?
I would be very surprised if he did not know that my book was out there. I would be very shocked if he said, I never even heard of this book. Because I know we sent our book out to like all the major jobs. We sent our book out to all the radio places, people, with requests to come on and promote the book. And so everybody didn't respond to it, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, but what's done is done. I mean, it's a good idea. I even got his book. Somebody gave it to me free. So, I have his book at the crib. I haven't read it yet, but my book is so funny. My book is so hilarious and so real. It's just like my comedy. So everybody gets it. And I never really had any intention of it being an African-American book. I wanted to have a more mainstream title, but the powers that be said, it's for your Essence readers, and they'll get it and they'll love it, and
right. Well, let's move on. Last question. I want to ask you this.
All right.
Do you think there's a career behind this, the comedy career as a writer for TV, for whatever else you want to do? Because your writing skills as a comic have shown through, and you already have a built-in audience. How are you feeling about being behind the scenes, producer, writing, any of that?
I think, Frank, that's the most invaluable thing that I have learned on Saturday Night Live is how to be a producer, how to be a writer, basically how to be a director. We set up our own sketches. A lot of us write our own sketches. We produce our own sketches. We work with other people, which is the most important thing to be able to do without having an ego. You know what I mean? Not saying there was no egos on Saturday Night Live, because there were, but definitely. So the book is just the beginning. It's just what I had time to do in between me getting married and getting serious and buying a house and all that good stuff. So, now I'm excited because I'm out here and I'm ready to work, and I'm almost finished with my second book. And got a good script that I'm working on, and a good TV show idea that I'm working on. So I stay busy as far as writing and typing, and basically keeping Essence happy. But then other than that, man, I'm just on my grind right now. When I tell you I'm on the stand-up grind, I'm gonna be a beast on every stage I step into. Because I got on stage a couple of times thinking it was still there, and you gotta practice. You gotta get out. You gotta get out there and get your swagger back. So, there's been a couple of times I came to LA and was just okay. That ain't never happening again. You ain't gonna never say Finesse was okay. Because now, I don't know if you saw that set that just happened at the Laugh Factory. I'm a freaking beast on stage right now. And then one of the cool cats as well. Because I'm nice to everybody. I say what's up to everybody. I respect everybody. And I don't have that need to be funny all the time. I get paid to be funny, and then I like to be funny when it's just natural, being around my friends. But I ain't got to be around people just trying to be the funny dude because I'm a stand-up comedian. So that ain't never been my personality.
Well, thank you for taking out the time, brother.